Hey, what's up? It's Friday. TGIF. It's Rumor Innuendo. I'm Dominic D'Angelo of AdFreeShows.com, SEScoops.com, and OneTrueSportTV.com. And as usual, I'm here with Robert Karpelis, WWE Creative_ish. Robert, happy Friday to you, man.
Happy Friday, Dom. How are you?
Oh, hanging in there. Thanks for asking. I've been great. Kind of a slow wrestling weekend upcoming, huh?
Genuinely didn't care. It was a polite thing to say.
Oh.
Kidding. I'm sure you've got a jam-packed weekend. We've got a jam-packed show. I think Dom sent the rundown about 30 seconds ago, so I haven't had a chance to read it yet. So all I understand is we're going to be talking SmackDown on USA.
That's right. Hey.
Hey. And we're going to be saying hi to some of the folks who are joining us live. Dre Owen says, R&I Friday, home of Team Double J.
Yeah,
what kind of nonsense? That's it. Dre Owen's banned for life from the show. Oh, Jake, good morning, all. Jake, you can stick around. And Jason Pock says, happy Friday, boys. SmackDown back in the USA Network. And he dominated with what the? No. Now we're besmirching the Miami Dolphins. Man, I got to start reading some of these comments before I click on them. This is sloppiness here. And Lou 4237 pointing out happy Friday the 13th.
That is, yes. Yeah.
It is Friday the 13th.
It is. Is Jason your favorite slasher, or do you have a different? Do you like slasher films in general or anything?
No. I'm not a jump scare guy. It's a really kind of cheap way to get a reaction out of people. It's like 13 super kicks in a match.
Okay.
I enjoy something that makes you think, like a Shining kind of situation where you're really thinking about what's going on. But just, boo.
I'm a fan of Scream, though. I do like the Scream movies.
Scream was funny. I enjoyed the first Scream. David Arquette did an episode of Working Stiff.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, good dude. Known him for a while. He did the show, and that episode, the ratings cratered.
Did they really?
Cratered. People saw Arquette and they just went, nope.
What? I thought that would have roped him in. I would have tuned in to see Dewey there. Jeez. Okay. Well, hey. Hopefully, people are tuning in today to see us preview SmackDown. It is debuting on USA, and it's kicking off. I didn't know if you saw this, Robert, but Triple H announced that the show is kicking off with Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa in that steel cage for the WWE Undisputed Championship. Good thing to do, starting off. Start off on the right foot here with USA, huh?
Yeah, I think that's a strong way to start the show. Make it appointment TV from jump. Hey, you got to be there to check out and see what's going to be a huge match. It's for the title. They can give it as much time as they need.
They can. They really can. It does entice people in because you're thinking this is a SummerSlam rematch. You wouldn't want to think that Cody versus Solo would warrant another PLE match, considering all that's gone down with Roman Reigns and all that stuff. But I think this is a good way to kind of kick things off, make it feel like a big deal. Steel cages are always fun. And it'll be interesting, too, to see how this new era of WWE handles a steel cage stipulation a little bit more. See if there's a little bit more rules to it, if they kind of adhere to the older school ways of the steel cage.
Well, the nice thing about a steel cage match in this instance is you absolutely are going to have representation from the bloodline who are going to want to interfere to try to cost it. The interesting story, my guess, coming out of this is going to be Roman Reigns' involvement. Mm-hmm. That Roman Reigns may wind up in some way, shape, or form helping Cody Rhodes retain the title over Solo Sikoa. That kind of feels like the moment you're leaning to. Like Solo can lose a steel cage match and it's not going to hurt him. Mm-hmm. If Roman somehow gets in the cage and starts beating everybody up and Cody crawls out and survives, no one's going to, cry, no harm, no foul.
Yeah.
You need to get to Solo and Roman for Bad Blood. That seems to be the intriguing match that you have that you can promote and hype.
You think they're going to pull the trigger that quick on Roman and Solo?
Absolutely. We're in September. War Games is in November. I don't know what else there is in between in terms of PLEs, short of Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And Roman was advertised for Survivor Series. He's on the
He's on the but yes, but also War Games is literally built for the Bloodline feud.
absolutely. Yeah.
So I think that's what we're going to be looking forward to see who's gonna pop up, who's gonna interfere, how is this gonna play out. It's the first SmackDown on USA. They want to make a big splash, a big impact, in part because they know they're going up against college football on Fox.
They're old
So
rivals.
I think they kind of want to stick it to their bitter ex.
Well, did you predict a Paul Heyman return tonight? Would that warrant is this the right time for Paul Heyman to come back, basically?
I don't know if Paul's going to make it up that cage.
That's a good point.
That
Yes.
might be tough for him.
Mm.
Yeah, you could bring Paul back next week. If you have a Roman appearance here and he lays out Solo or he helps Cody, Heyman's a very good messenger to be able to tell that story of, you guys done messed up and now there's going to be a reckoning.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Interesting stuff. We'd heard. Did we talk about the interview that Roman and Paul had about moving to Netflix and everything like that? I don't think you were here for that, and I don't
No,
think.
I was not here for that.
Okay, did you catch wind of any of that?
I saw some snippets of what they talked about. I saw them talking about, being a heel versus being a baby face. Heyman, when he does these sorts of interviews, is always really interesting in the
Mhm.
perspective that he gives to wrestling as a bigger art form.
Yes, he does. Roman gave some pretty good perspective too. I thought he said he wasn't everybody's talking about going pushing the envelope a little bit, moving to Netflix, what their expectations are and everything like that. And Roman kind of attested to how he likes the challenge of working in a PG realm of everything and trying to make things work that way because you not only broaden your audience, you get younger fans invested, you get you cast a wider net basically, but you got to make it appealing to everybody else. I thought it was really introspective kind of quotes and kind of a good team leader kind of rah rah locker room kind of thing for it too. I think.
By the way, I completely agree.
Mhm.
The PG stuff at first was a little challenging, but I think back to when I was there in a TV 14 era, you needed something to keep those guys in check, or else they were going to go to their worst base impulses. It's kind of the thing of, if you make a rated R movie, you can get away with a lot, but you don't have to do a lot.
Right.
And with PG, it's like PG with the lines blurred a little bit, where you can say ass instead of butt, where you can occasionally have blood without it being gratuitous and over the top, but it's keeping you from doing the kind of goofy stuff that would happen in a TV 14 environment, that occasionally as wrestling fans you watch this and you go, I'd be embarrassed if someone I knew walked in and saw this.
Mm-hmm. Do you think the WWE will take a little bit of the gloves off though when it comes to moving to Netflix and kind of pushing the envelope? How do you think their thought process is on that? Will they pick and choose their moments, or
I
will
think they
they?
already have.
Yeah, that's true.
I think we've already seen a TV PG plus.
Yeah,
How's that?
for
Between
sure.
somewhere between TV PG and TV 14. I think that they've given them a little bit more leeway to be able to act like adults and to give you a hard hitting presentation without it going to the early 2000s. Oh my God, we have to try to recreate the Attitude Era however we possibly can. Let's just put the divas in a dodgeball segment. I
Now,
had to cut a video package to that, by the way.
that would be fantastic. I love
No,
dodgeball.
it sucked. Every moment of
Did
that
they
was
have a dodgeball segment, or did you just come up with that?
no.
Am I
There was a Divas dodgeball. It was part of the Divas Search contest. Rob
really?
Schneider was there for one of those things as well. It was like an American Gladiator style thing
Oh my god,
back when Rob Schneider was a celebrity, and now not just a, oh no, Rob Schneider's near a microphone. Let's hope for the best.
man! I want to play dodgeball now. I like dodgeball a lot.
I can see
Um,
that you give off a dodgeball
do
vibe.
I see? I can dodge really well. I can't throw very well.
Can you
So
duck, dip, dive and dodge.
Absolutely. And you've seen me drink my own urine on here. So I'm a step ahead of the game, Robert.
Tom, I'm begging you, we gotta move on.
Okay.
We don't have time for urine drinking here. And those people who weren't watching have no idea what you're talking about in that episode.
I
He,
know,
he was
because that was
drinking.
like weeks ago.
Like you just assume everybody, like everything is in canon. People are going back and rewatching these, and they know the references you're talking about.
We got comic book nerds, I'm sure.
You're already wearing a yellow shirt. Let's not, bring more connotations of urine.
I do have a little inside information. You can expect some potential legends showing up tonight. I'll just leave it at that.
Dude, it's a rumor and innuendo show. I think you're okay.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. Is Magnum rolling down the ring?
Magnum is not going to be there.
That's a shame.
I have no confirmation of who's going to be there whatsoever, but I just have some inside information. It's a rumor and innuendo.
Dude, it's the name of the show.
That is the name of the show. I didn't. Yeah. Not rumor and innuendo, but
wouldn't be the most incendiary thing a co-host of mine has said on here. So I think you're fine.
Oh, you think I'm okay?
Yes.
All right. Not rumored and innuendoed is Carmelo Hayes versus Andrade. We are getting that match tonight. It is their 5th match against one another, and they've been fighting since July. The winner of this will get a United States title shot against LA Knight, it seems. Who would you go with this? Carmelo Hayes or Andrade?
Given that the winner is going to face LA Knight, I think it's got to be Carmelo Hayes. I think the purpose of LA Knight being the United States champion is to transition that title over to Carmelo Hayes.
Ooh, you think so?
Yes. That being said, I think for this match, the X factor, if there is one, is the Emperor Santos Escobar.
Yes.
Perhaps the Legado del Fantasma interferes in some way, shape, or form, and costs Andrade the match. So Andrade has what to pivot to, and we can get some great Andrade Santos Escobar matches, while at the same time getting LA Knight versus Carmelo Hayes.
I like it. I like
that. Would be how I would handle this. On the other hand, you could do Andrade versus LA Knight, but then it's babyface, and even Tony Khan has learned with the Darby Allin, Bryan Danielson situation. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for babyface. Yeah, so you think this is just a short little run of for your LA Knight with that United States Championship?
We'll see. They could do a match, and then you need to get to a rematch. There's all kinds of levers and stories they can pull.
Mm-hmm.
But if it was me, I would want to get that title to Carmelo Hayes and start making that guy as soon as possible.
Yeah, I think it's high time to do that for sure. LA Knight's, I think he does an okay job as a babyface, but he does have his pitfalls still. You want to see him develop a little bit more away from the Rock identity, Stone Cold. And
he's not gonna. It's his crutch. It's what he's good at. And I get it. Go with your hot hand. It's fine. It gets a reaction. The crowd pops for the yeah. It sells shirts. But I think he's one of those guys that Bruce would probably say, he doesn't need the title.
Yeah.
He fills the segment as just the guy who comes out there and says yeah and does a Rock impression.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we have A-Town Down Under going up against Kevin Owens and a TBA. That means to be announced. So we don't know who that is. Who do you think it is, Robert?
My guess is the guy who hears voices in his head.
Okay.
That would make the most sense. Well, yes, it is wrestling, so that is true. There's a lot of CTE floating around there. No, this feels like the perfect opportunity for Orton to come back for the season premiere of SmackDown. It immediately plugs him back into programming without acknowledging, hey, yes, I did lose. Let's move forward. It's me and Kevin. We're buddies. We're pals. We always seem to work things out. Yes, that is the Tailspin theme song that I just weaved into the sentence. Yep, there you go. This could be the catalyst for what ultimately leads to the Randy Orton heel turn that gets him to face Cody at Survivor Series. That feels like a really strong match. So I think these guys working together, they get the win. Everybody's happy. He turns around, boom, drops Owens with an RKO. What's going on here? We'll see.
My goodness, Randy, why would you do such a thing to your friend?
Because this is what the script said.
Okay.
But they also might realize, like, man, Orton as a babyface is way too fun. We can save this for a little while.
So you don't think there's going to be a surprise, somebody way out of left field that's going to show
Who
up?
would you have, Dom? Who would your TBA or TBD be?
Hey, that kind of rhymes with who I'm thinking of. How about RVD?
So you're just plugging co-hosts.
No,
You know,
I
it'd
think
be great. Be great if Greg Gagne came out there.
that would be awesome. I'd be
Man,
like,
nobody was more over than Greg Gagne.
hey,
The
speaking
the
of, I don't
Shane
have
McMahon, the Shane McMahon of Minnesota.
this on the rundown, but wanted to get your thoughts. Yesterday, Greg did break some news and said that Jesse Ventura might be on tap for WWE to host some Saturday night special events going on for WWE. You think that's a good move for WWE to get him back in the mix if that's supposed to happen?
They just signed the contract with Jesse not that
Mhm.
long ago to get him back into a Legends deal, which is fantastic. I think any opportunity to put him in video games and make merchandise and action figures. I know, look, Working Stiff co-host Mike Lawrence, massive Jesse the Body Ventura fan.
Yeah.
So the opportunity to have Jesse back in the fold on WWE programming, always a good idea. Yes, I think him doing a Saturday night's main event style special. NBC has said they're doing a WWE special. Give him Jesse the Body.
Yeah. Why
Let's
not?
make it happen. I don't know if we need Dick Ebersol.
Yeah.
There's enough
Maybe
dicks.
not.
There's enough dicks in wrestling without us needing to bring out Dick Ebersol.
I agree.
And if we had a Blue Chew spot right now, that would have been perfect.
Boy, that would have been magnifique.
But no, but instead, I get to gear up after SmackDown for the start of my weekend. And the good news is, last evening, the Miami Dolphins ensure that I don't have to worry about them for the rest of the season. Tuned in to watch that, and Tua, that may be it for him.
It could be done.
That concussion, like that may be it for that guy. But I still get to tune in and watch my beloved Florida Gators play Texas A&M on Saturday at 3:30. And I'm gonna be, if Graham Mertz is in there or DJ Lagway, I'm gonna be wondering, are either one of them gonna try to throw for more than 300 yards? Or one of my receivers gonna finally grab a touchdown? Guys, check out DraftKings Pick Six, the newest way to compete against others and play fantasy football to win cash with DraftKings. All you got to do is pick a player and choose if they'll have more or less of a stat, like yards, touchdowns, catches, and more. It could not be any easier. Get your picks right, and you'll win cash. Download the new DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code RUMOR. That's code RUMOR for new customers to play $5 and get $50 in Pick 6 credits guaranteed, plus 1 month of NFL Plus Premium on us. Offer expires September 19th only on DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 years or older. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos. One per new customer. Reward issued as $50 in non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 6 months. NFL Plus Premium offer available only to new and former NFL Plus subscribers. Additional NFL Plus Premium terms at NFL.com/terms.
Yeah, right
The
now
closest I'm ever going to get to being the Micro Machine guy.
you did. The Micro Machine guy.
Yes.
Right now you can get Lamar Jackson for 215 and a half yards against Las Vegas. So you can pick him as one of your players. You can.
That's a pretty wait. That's what they're putting him in. Oh yeah, that's an over right there.
That's over. So you can go the over on that one.
Last week what blew my mind was there were only 2 quarterbacks that topped over 300 yards.
Isn't that crazy? There was like nobody that basically did it.
So that's the beauty of this promotion. By the way, you bet that $5, you get $50 with which to play with. Like you're playing with house money.
That's it.
You can just start picking different things, and you win legit real cash. It's pretty awesome, and it makes you end up caring about games you wouldn't necessarily be going out of your mind for.
And look at this, too. You can get Deebo Samuel right now for 52 and a half yards. Over 52, you can predict for that. You can go the under if you really want to. So there's a lot you can choose from. And it's another fun way to do it. So go to the Pick 6 app and check them out right now. So there you go. what people might be checking out that Dave Batista hopes is the Killer's Game, Robert. And I kind of wanted to talk about a little bit of Batista changing his body stuff, but also the comments he had about Drew McIntyre. And I know you have a good friendship with Drew McIntyre, so
And Dave.
and David, and Dave as well.
Dave and I were on. There was an episode of SmackDown. We were on camera together.
Really?
That footage exists. It is out
I
there.
know. Yeah.
I loved the best thing with that with Dave. We were waiting to do the pre-tape, and he was world champion. So he hands me the world heavyweight title to hold. So I've got the big gold belt over my shoulder, and one of the jewels falls off. And I was like, oh no. And they start ribbing me and make a big deal of this. They bring over a hot glue gun and they hot glue the jewel back onto the title.
Wow.
So you want to talk about demystifying a championship right there. There's that. But what did Mr. Dave Bautista say about Drew Galloway?
Oh, nice. Kathy Kelly was speaking with him, and he said about Drew in the Killer's Game, he did amazing. Like, people are going to be blown away by Drew in this. He's so funny, and he's just so charismatic. It was perfect. And I know Drew for a very long time, and we've stayed in touch well before this. I watched Drew grow up in this business. I'm super proud of him. Man, I'm proud of what he's accomplished. Yeah, I'm excited to kind of check that out. Drew, we'll obviously see him doing his best work, I think, right now in pro wrestling in his whole career, I would say, from a persona and identity standpoint. So seeing him kind of go on the screen and kind of do this, could we see another big star in Drew McIntyre hit the silver screen a little bit, Robert? What do you think?
Absolutely. I think Drew has shown in this CM Punk feud, he's got a lot of versatility. He's absolutely watchable. And I've known for years, he is a very funny guy. Little mean spirited, but in a good way. This is why I love Drew. He is one of the wrestlers who has gone back when we were doing wrestle roasts and we would do roasts of wrestlers. He listened to his roast and we said some truly horrible things about him and he popped.
Yeah.
That's why I love Drew. Orton also did that and was a big fan of what he heard. Some of the guys are less of a sense of humor, and I totally understand and appreciate that. But Drew is a good guy. I'm glad that they finally moved him away from that goofy William Wallace, I've got a sword and I'm going to yell Scottish history facts to you, to being the guy that I knew that he could be. It's an absolute blast. There's also a good plug here, Alt Jake, that Batista was good on friend of the show, Chris Van Vliet's podcast. Known Chris for many, many years. He is unlike your good close personal friend, Sean Ross Sapp. Chris, good guy. Really like him a lot. Conducts really, really strong interviews. Nice man for being a Canadian.
Oh, he is a Canadian. That is true.
I'm willing to overlook that. But you talked about Dave's body changing, which is a little weird that we're talking about that, but it's hard not to notice. I saw the images of him. He's in that last Showgirl movie with Pamela Anderson, and he was on the red carpet, and you had to do a double take. It looked like he climbed out of a Batista suit.
It did. He slimmed down quite a bit. And funny enough, speaking with Chris Van Vliet, he happened to say, I started trimming down because I got really big for a role, uncomfortably big. For Knock at the Cabin, I got really big. I was around 315 pounds. I put the weight on really fast, and I put it on an uncomfortable amount of weight, and it took forever to shed it out. And then he said, the more I trimmed down, the better I looked on camera, and the better I looked next to other actors. I'm still a large human being at 6'4" and 240 pounds. Next to your typical actor, I look like a gorilla, and it's distracting and probably lose a few more pounds. I'm just killing myself to be trim. I'm training hard. So, yeah, a little bit of an adjustment for him. You even look back to when he was, 2019 and his last match that he had with Triple H. Still a very different physique. But, yeah, I just thought it's you think about the investment he puts into himself in doing those roles and everything like that. He's probably the most legitimate actor out of any of the wrestlers that have ventured into that, broken that barrier, so to speak.
He's very good at what he does, and he's sort of one of those people who, believe it or not, is cursed by the body that he was born into.
Yeah.
He looks like this big lumbering Hulk, and that's why he was the Leviathan. That's why he was Deacon Batista. It was just like, oh, he's the big heavy, he's the muscle guy. And his character evolved into him being a more cerebral talent.
Right.
I remember that was something we talked to him about quite a bit when he switched over and he became the face of SmackDown, was this idea that he's going to outthink somebody. That was the impetus of his feud with Eddie Guerrero, that he was going to subvert expectations, and he wanted to be kind of the Bugs Bunny to Eddie Guerrero's Daffy Duck. And I thought that was really great. His heel run towards the end of his main career, his full-time career, before he left and did he was doing some incredible work there. And when he slims down, he still looks menacing without looking so over the top. I know that for that knock on the cabin door, whatever movie, like, he needed to be a big monster again. And I think now that he realizes he can shrink down a little bit, he can play some versatile roles. He's still going to be tall, he's still going to be imposing, but you don't necessarily need to be that. And with the advances in makeup and CGI, you look at Colin Farrell as the Penguin.
Right. Yeah.
The reviews for that show, which comes out a week from Sunday, are off the chart, and you would not recognize him. You wouldn't think, oh yeah, that's Colin Farrell. No,
That's
you look at him and think, oh, that's Paul Heyman.
I didn't know they're doing a TV series of the Penguin with the Colin Farrell. I was not aware of that.
Well, it comes out next Sunday on HBO Max.
Ooh,
It's on HBO and on Max. So
I like it. Hey, will AEW do that? That's what we're wondering. That's what everybody's wondering here.
will AEW do what?
Be on HBO and Max.
They keep talking about. I heard Tubi was a rumor at one point. Dude, I don't know what's going on with those folks, but what I do know is Dominic D'Angelo hosts or produces a ton of high quality podcasts. First and foremost, Working Stiff.
That's right.
Myself and Scott Chaplin, we recorded it yesterday. We did a deep dive into a lot of the different things with AEW. We talked about WWE going to 2 hours on Netflix and what that might look like, and all sorts of weird tangents in between. That's available on iTunes, Spotify, and wherever you get podcasts. It is definitely worth checking out as we head into the weekend. Where else can the fine folks hear you?
Yeah, like I said, you can find me at rvdtv.com. We have the clip of Rob talking about how he saw the Vince McMahon trailer and what he thinks about it after the fact. And he thinks he probably could have got away with doing an interview, even though he decided against doing it initially. So check that out, rvdtv.com. And hey, Greg Gagne, Magnum TA, we just went live yesterday on Four Horsemen Network, and Greg did break some news like that Jesse Ventura stuff. So you can check out the full episode there on fourhorsemannetwork.com or onetruesporttv.com. And that's what I got cooking, guys.
All right. Well, next week I'm off, but Dom will be here with some guest co-hosts lined up every Monday through Friday at noon Eastern on a plethora of platforms, including the WWE Creative _ish X account. That's right. Even though I'm not here, it's still going to be on the account. You'll be able to check it out. You can check it out on the SE Scoops X account or on YouTube on Rumor and Innuendo, Working Stiff, and if Hangman Adam Page finishes the job, ad-free shows.
Hey, oh hey. My goodness.
So on behalf of the man who'll be left behind next week, Dominic D'Angelo, I'm Robert Karpelis. Best of luck in your future endeavors.
I'll miss you, Robert.